So, here's the deal. The Walking Dead is this super intense zombie story, and at the center of all the chaos is Rick Grimes, who's pretty much the ultimate leader of this mismatched group of survivors. Rick's journey throughout the series is what makes him one of the standout characters. But, interestingly, Robert Kirkman, the guy who created the whole thing, has admitted that there's one thing he wishes he'd done differently with Rick in the comics, a thing that actually got worse the more he wrote. Rick, who hails from Cynthiana, Kentucky, first pops up in the very first issue of The Walking Dead. Back then, he's a sheriff's deputy in King County, Georgia, just doing his thing until he gets shot and ends up in a coma. When he wakes up, the world's gone to hell, and the rest is comic book legend. In this letter hacks section at the end of The Walking Dead Deluxe 94, Kirkman spills the beans about how he kind of dropped the ball with Rick's southern vibe. Early on, Rick had that southern flavor in how he talked, but over time, Kirkman admits he pretty much let that fade out. It's something he regrets because, as one fan pointed out, it made a lot of the characters feel like they were just talking the same way, without any unique voice. The fan even nailed it, saying you should be able to tell who's talking just by their voice, not by having to look at who's saying it. Kirkman owned up to it, saying, "Yeah, I used to make Rick sound a lot more southern than I do now, and that's totally on me." He admits it's just one of those things that happen when you're writing something for so long. Not giving Rick a thick accent from the get go was a bit of a slip, and over time, his southern roots just kind of got lost, which Kirkman now sees as a mistake. But to be honest, it doesn't really mess with who Rick is at the core. Even though his accent faded, his actions and deep sense of family and community really capture those Southern values more than an accent ever could. It's fair to say that a lot of Kirkman's characters might sound a bit alike in the way they talk, and even the fan who pointed this out admits that characters like Abraham and Axel had more distinct voices. But despite this, Rick's character has grown into something much bigger and better than where he started, accent or no accent. And for those who love Rick's Southern roots, the good news is that Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick on AMC's The Walking Dead, mostly kept that Southern twang going, giving Rick the characterization Kirkman now wishes he'd stuck with in the comics.